She shows a text message that she says is from him, and it turns out that he actually didn't send this message.
Yeah, I didn't send that text.
I had Dream reach out to get some clarification on it. So they replied back and essentially just said that it was an accident and that Katie had gotten confused on who said what. And I'm really not trying to nitpick anything here. I just really think it's important to make sure that everyone has the full picture.
It's so cucked that he can never call her a liar. He's still got to like treat the whole situation with kids' gloves.
How awesome is that, dude? How awesome. Lied by omission about the cuddling. How awesome is it that she lied by faking that screenshot and saying that someone else sent it? How
Wait, so
epic
what's
is
the
that?
story about the screenshot?
You like, didn't see the screenshot?
Yeah,
Well,
no, but I'm
she
saying who the
claimed-
f did it come from?
Who knows? It probably her.
No
Who
shot.
knows?
That would be wild.
I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised. Given she lied about the other thing, would it be that crazy?
Yes. GeorgeNotFound response. My response.
Katie Boggs recently did a... For those of you who don't know, Katie Boggs recently did a stream and accused me of something very serious. I made a response and then she made a follow-up response. This is my response to her follow-up. Throughout this video, I'm going to be showing clips from some other people just for context. And just to make it clear, I don't want any hate to be sent to anyone, including these people. Here are the 2 tweets that I posted about this situation. These are now deleted as I only made them to let people know that I had intentions to make a response. And I didn't want people to think I was just completely radio silent in the time that I needed to make those responses. First of all, I just want to make it clear that my tweet that I put out after my first statement wasn't somehow admitting to guilt or completely backtracking on what I originally said. My perspective had changed due to new information that Katie had provided. So now I'm just going to go over Katie's new statement and talk about what she had to say. So first, she acknowledges the texts that I showed about them talking about wanting to play the drinking games are real, but that they were from her friends. So this is reasonable. I only brought up that point because the implication was that it was kind of creepy of us and we were forcing the game on them.
There was more alcohol in the room, and we were encouraged to drink some more as they offered the bottles to us and insisted on drinking games, and, already drunk, I obviously complied.
In reality, it was mutually talked about and everyone was just having fun. So next she mentions that one of the reasons
It was mutually talked about? What did he say?
it's mutually talked about and
Oh, it was mutually talked about. God, I hate Europeans, dude. Fuck me. You want to talk about some genocide shit?
everyone was just having fun. So next she mentions that one of the reasons she wanted to hang out in our hotel room was because there was another creator that was in the room, but then that creator didn't actually end up being there. Again, reasonable. I didn't know this at the time. There were people in and out of our hotel room throughout the whole event, so she could have
I'm sorry, I'm just getting Europeans. I love you guys. I thought all of you were sleeping. My bad.
potentially heard of anyone being there. When her group was on the way to the hotel, she was messaging me, bantering about whether or not I would actually be there or not, and that made me think that she wanted me to be there. But I don't know, maybe she didn't care and she just wanted to see the other creator or just to be with her friends. Next, she shows our Instagram DMs and just...
This is the part where Lav would be like, I told you that if you went to the hotel, I'd shoot you in your leg and you better not come. And now you actually did. And I was clearly telling
be there or not. And that made me think that she wanted me to be there. But I don't know, maybe she didn't care and she just wanted to see the other creator or just to be with her friends. Next, she shows our Instagram DMs and...
This may sound dumb, but is it logical to charge a delivery tax on food delivery just to disincentivize it? It's already disincentivized by being so expensive. I really want a study. Is there any research? How many poor people DoorDash Uber Eats? Is there like any research on this yet? Or is it just everybody speculate? Because maybe the fact is, maybe poor people don't ever do this, and it's just like a thing that everybody's making up. It'd be cheaper for us to order DoorDash than eat at Miami Beach. Well, but I DoorDash stuff from Miami Beach. I spend a disgusting amount of money. And I only get like my little hot Chockies for breakfast. So like this would be like an average order if I'm ordering for somebody else too. So we've got a hot chocolate, a chocolate chip cookie, a cold brew coffee, and one bagel sandwich. And that costs $34.26. Including tip? Yeah, that includes everything. One time I ordered just a hot chocolate from Starbucks, and that cost $14.11. Oh, one day I wanted to go big. So from Five Guys, I ordered one cheeseburger and one Coke Zero, and that cost $34.17. Yeah, this shit is outrageously expensive. Here from Starbucks, I ordered an iced caramel macchiato and one hot chocolate, and that cost $28. Yeah.
And she said that a reason she kept messaging me in a friendly way for a while after this whole thing happened.
Break down the cost on the receipt. I think I just closed it. Fuck. The iced caramel macchiato. Keep in mind, I'm pretty sure that if you order online, they increase the price of everything. There's not just like a upcharge for like delivery fee or whatever. They actually charge you. I think they increase the cost of all the menu items as well. They're very sneaky. So for my Starbucks order, the iced caramel macchiato, it's a venti to be fair, was $7.15. The venti hot chocolate was $5.95. So the subtotal is $13.10. Delivery fee is $2.99. Service fee is $3, which I thought got deleted with my Chase Sapphire card. Tax is 92 cents. Express fee, because I want it so it's warm, is $2.99. Dasher tip is $5. Total is $28.
Was because, and this is a quote, she felt lucky to be talking to a verified account, someone famous, someone I had followed and watched for a while. Now,
felt lucky to be talking to a verified account? Oh my god.
This is not something that I was thinking about at all. I wasn't aware that she ever watched my content in the past. That was never brought up. This actually makes me feel pretty bad. The only reason she was messaging me was because I have subscribers or something. I would never want that. Again, the only reason I actually brought up us messaging after the fact was to show that we were still friendly afterwards, and that I didn't know that she was uncomfortable at the time. She also confirms that we did talk on Snapchat, like I said, but also that nothing really happened there either. The next thing she talks about is the elevator. She said that we left at the same time and that her hotel room was on the other side of the hotel, so there was like kind of two corridors connected by an elevator room in the middle. So she's saying that she was just going past the elevator to get to her room. And again, this is totally reasonable. I brought this up because from her stream, the way that it was told kind of implied that I followed her.
Should that be made illegal? The price difference is not being stated. Feels scummy. I feel like they're trying to hide the delivery upcharge. I don't know. I've got so many random thoughts about that. I don't know.
Out, and then that she waited to take the next elevator instead of getting in with me while I tried to convince her to get in. I'll just play the clip of her saying this, so I'm not speaking for her.
I went to leave, and the older guy decided to leave with me. We walked to the elevators, where I didn't get on. He then pretended that the elevator was broken, and that he couldn't leave, telling me to get in the elevator to prove it was broken.
In my original video, I just wanted to clarify this, that we left together because the night was over, and that she was on the same floor, so she didn't actually have to take the elevator. And it seems like she agrees with this now. So next she agrees with me that she didn't mention my online friend that I just met that day. She said she didn't mention him though because he left early and she didn't even know his name. And she shows a text message that she says is from him, from the night where this happened, where he says this. Obviously this is implying that he was kind of uncomfortable with what was happening, and also that he knew her age, despite just meeting her. And when I first saw this actually majorly changed my perspective on the night, because that would mean that my friend was also uncomfortable and somehow knew her age when I didn't. And even though she said that he left early, my memory of it was actually that he was the last to leave, just before me and Katie left. Dream also
Bro, there are so many cuts. Oh my god.
Came to me and mentioned that this changed his perspective of the night as well, because that would mean that he was essentially the only person that wasn't uncomfortable, and that therefore he should have known. This really concerned me. I kind of was just sitting there like, really thinking, how could this have happened? So I reached out to my friend to talk to him about it. And it turns out that he actually didn't send this message. I'm going to play a phone call that I had with him.
Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
After I found this out.
It must have been played later or something. There's no way she would just full on fake a text message to a friend of this guy, right? That would be insane, right?
That he actually didn't send this message. I'm going to play a phone call that I had with him after I found this out, just because I think it gives more context.
What's up?
So there is a text that is claimed to be from you.
Yeah, I didn't send that text. I found out about it when you sent it to me. But yeah, no, that wasn't me. I don't know where they got that from. I didn't ask them for any of their phone numbers or anything like that.
Can you kind of just talk me through your, like, anything that you remember from essentially the entire event?
A little bit before VidCon, I hit you up to hang out, and then you mentioned that you had an extra bed for your hotel. We got there around like 5 o'clock. We just went out to your room, like met up. I think it was towards like 9 or 10 o'clock. We met up at Dream Spot. Then it was just us three for a bit, and then you or Dream mentioned.
You want a real example of sexism? Here you go. Why is it that when women vocal fry, everybody calls it out and makes fun of it? Rightfully so. Fuck vocal fries. This guy lives in the vocal fry zone. How does he get away with it? This guy's entire existence is in the vocal fry zone. Why is it allowed? It should be illegal.
It was just us three for a bit, and then you or Dream mentioned like just having some people come over and hang out. We were playing, I forget what the drinking was called. I think it was kind of like Cards Against Humanity, something similar to that. I didn't really notice anything out of the ordinary. I didn't really notice any like bad vibes or anything like that. It was a little playful.
Is this the e-boy? I guess these guys are all e-boys, huh? Or no, he's 20. Can you be an e-boy at 26? What's the cutoff for e-boy?
Maybe a little flirty. I noticed you guys were just kind of like playing with each other and just like kind of cuddled up a little bit on the couch. So it definitely didn't seem like she was like uncomfortable, you know? I don't know, it seemed like everybody that was there was having a good time, because I mean, we were there pretty late, so I don't really follow like this internet stuff like that, so I'm not up to date with what's going on online. The way she was explaining everything, I mean, at least to me, like it was not like that at all. To me, it kind of seems like a misunderstanding. There wasn't really a thought in my mind that like, oh, this girl like could be in some sort of danger, or she's being like preyed on or anything like that. Because yeah, even though George is my friend, if I noticed him doing anything that I wouldn't want someone I'm friends with to do, then I would, you know, I either would say something about it or not be a part of that situation.
She says that you left early on in the night. Could you talk about that?
I think around like 3 or 3:30, I went to go get tacos. I think I got the party pack or something. For some reason, I couldn't believe I actually went and got tacos. I know for a fact that I got the tacos like extremely late. Like I had to go in their drive-thru even though I wasn't in a car. Like I had to walk through their drive-thru and like order through their speaker. That was fun. I know I left at 5 or very close to that time, because right after 5 I texted Dream that I left open the deadbolt on his door. And right after I left, I texted him that to let him know. I think that was at like 5:10 a.m. Can genuinely say I had a really good night. That's kind of the impression that I got from everybody else too. Like everybody was having a good time. But hopefully, you know, you and Katie can maybe, I don't know if be friends is the right word, but I hope she feels better about it, because, you know, I feel bad that she feels this.
Is this guy's career already I saw that like Dream was like editing him out of pictures or posting new pictures without him. Is that really what happened, or?
But I don't know, it's kind of bad situation. It's just fucking wild that like this whole situation came from like that night. It was just like mind-boggling, dude. Like I couldn't really believe like half the shit I was saying. Like as someone that was there, like other ways that I've heard it being like described, like from what I was like reading and watching online, is actually kind of insane.
So obviously after this comment.
Oh, that was Mr. Beast.
Later that
Oh god, I just went. Wait for it. Oh, Mr. Beast and Dream. What's the difference between these two people again? Okay, true.
It's kind of bad situation. It's just fucking wild that like this whole situation came from like that night. It was just like mind-boggling, dude. Like I couldn't really believe like half the shit I was saying. Like as someone that was there, like other ways that I've heard it being like described, like from what I was like reading and watching online is actually kind of insane.
So obviously after this conversation with him, I was pretty confused. Maybe it was like a misunderstanding or something, because obviously they wouldn't just show this screenshot if it was fake, because I could disprove that pretty easily. So I had Dream reach out to get some clarification on it. So they replied back and essentially just said that it was an accident and that Katie had gotten confused on who said what. And I'm really not trying to nitpick anything here. I just really think it's important to make sure that everyone has the full picture.
It's so cuck that he can never call her a liar. He's still got to like treat the whole situation with kids' gloves.
Of the whole event as it happened, so that people can accurately form their own opinion. Anyway, the next thing that she talks about is the cuddling. She said, and this is a quote, "A lot of the touch was initiated by him, probably not realizing it. A lot of the cuddling he may have felt was personal, but it was just me being drunk. I do think a lot of the cuddling was initiated by me, but some of it wasn't. I was also drunk, but my impression at the time was that it was very mutual." She also says that, quote, "I didn't know cuddling was an invitation. I don't think just cuddling is an invitation for anything. I only brought the cuddling up because it's something that she didn't mention at all in her original stream."
We sat on the couch, and the older guy sat right next to me while playing. It was a little after that when I resorted to playing games on my phone when it happened.
And again, it's something that I think people need to know about to understand my perspective fully. The next thing that she talks about is that I said she got up and sat back down with me multiple times. She agreed with this, but said that the reason she did this is because, quote, "I didn't want someone I had watched for a while or with a large following to hate me for denying to even sit near him." Now this makes me feel terrible. It's something that she mentions throughout, this power imbalance, but this is not something at all that I was thinking about at the time. She was a VidCon invited guest, she had a hotel room on the same floor as Dream, she was friends with my friends, and honestly I just never imagined that this is something that she could have thought. And I do think that's my problem. I should have been aware of this, or at least the possibility of this being the case, and I am sorry. I feel terrible about it. I've never really thought about power imbalance at all, to be honest. In that room I wasn't thinking about, YouTube subscribers or fame or power or anything at all like that. I just saw us all as friends, hanging out, having fun. Again, I'm not trying to downplay this by saying this. It is genuinely something that I'm going to be thinking about going into the future. This comes up again later, and I'll have more to say then. Next, she talks about how I mentioned that she stayed for hours even after her best friend left. She says that her best friend left throwing up in her hand, and that she didn't know she had left. That she didn't make the conscious decision to stay. Now, this isn't my recollection of what happened. I remember Ghosty getting up to leave and Katie getting up to say goodbye to her. I also asked Dream about this, and he had the same recollection as me. We were all drunk, so I can't 100% say for sure what actually happened, but as per my memory, she was aware that Ghosty had left. Also, according to what she said, Katie and Ghosty were sharing the same hotel room together. So the obvious assumption is that they would probably leave together. The fact that she chose to stay, despite not really knowing most of the people there, gave me a pretty positive impression on how she felt about staying there. She says that after Ghosty left, quote, "I put up with it in the moment because I thought it was the price I had to pay to be around such big creators." Again, like I said before, this is just not something I even thought she could be thinking, and I'm sorry that I didn't. Next, she talks about me being more touchy as the night went on, and says this, quote, "You didn't know me, apparently you didn't even know my age, but you knew what I wanted. No, he assumed it's what I wanted because why wouldn't I want that from someone like him?" This is absolutely not how I think about this kind of situation at all. I would never think like that, and honestly, it's kind of an evil way to think about things. Just having the opinion that you can do anything because you're famous or...
It's kid gloves, not kids' gloves. It comes from gloves made from the leather of baby goats, aka kids. Really?
Whatever. And I never once remotely thought anything similar to that. And I feel terrible reading those words knowing that you think that about me. I would never think that I'm owed anything from anyone just because I have a YouTube channel, especially in an intimate context. Again, I'm really sorry for this, and it actually has been pretty eye-opening to me, and it's just not how I've ever really thought about stuff before. And I don't really think you're wrong for assuming that I thought like this, because obviously there are people out there that think like that.
Oh my God.
And use that to take advantage of people. And it makes sense that if you think that about me, that you would hate me. But that is not who I am at all, and I just really hope that you can understand that. Now, another thing that she mentioned that changed my perspective on things was that she showed texts from two of her friends the day after, checking up on her to see how she felt. She says, quote, "In the moment I was chilling, but thinking back on it, I'm sweating a little bit like, damn. I also don't know if I was chilling in the moment because I was drunk." And this is something that I was actually completely unaware of. I wasn't aware of any uncomfortableness in the moment, after the fact, or even after Katie's first stream. I just wasn't aware that anyone had expressed discomfort until I saw these texts. I actually had the opposite impression just because we were all really friendly afterwards still. Dream actually had a conversation about this with almost everyone that was in that room a few months later. One of their friends had actually tweeted about Dream, saying that he was inviting an 18-year-old girl back to his hotel to drink at VidCon, and was implying very negative things about Dream being a predator. So Dream realized this could have only been about Katie, because it was a pretty specific call-out, but thought that it was just being purposefully misleading from someone that hated him. Dream actually had no idea as well that anyone was uncomfortable, and assumed that this tweet was implying Katie was uncomfortable with Dream. He reached out to Ghosty about it, asking what this was even about, and did the same to others, including Katie. Now, I'm not going to be showing Katie's text with Dream, because at the time Dream had told her that her messages and conversation would not leave the texts.
What do we...
However, here is Dream and Ghosty's conversation about it. I was never brought up or mentioned at all. And also, when Dream makes fun of Harry for being ridiculous and making stuff up because nothing happened and we were all still friends, she said, exactly. She actually spoke about this on her stream very recently, and I don't want to speak for her, so I'm going to play the clip where she clarifies these messages.
The only time that we had a conversation about anything that had to do with that night was obviously when the stuff with Harry happened. And he texted me asking if it seemed like anything had happened. And I, at the time, said no, because the conversation was not about George. The conversation was about him, and it was about the underage drinking, and it wasn't ever about whether or not Katie, you know, it was always just about him and not George, which is why I said, dude, no, nothing seemed wrong, because he wasn't doing anything wrong, and I can stand by that. I will stand by that comment, and I said that in one of my posts that, you know, like it wasn't him. That was our conversation. It was never about George. It was about him and the Harry situation, and it was about at the time had seemed that Dream.
Wait, so that screenshot of the text that she posted wasn't about the George thing? It was about something different? Is that what they're saying?
Was one who had taken advantage of Katie, and I said he didn't, and I didn't lie.
And Ghosty, I'm really not trying to use your words against Katie or you. I'm just trying to paint an accurate picture of our perspective of the night. And to do that, I kind of have to talk about everything that we knew. I don't think your words negate at all how Katie felt, of course, but they did affect how I perceived the situation afterwards. Even after Katie's stream, this kind of confused us, and Dream especially, because he thought that this would have come up in these conversations.
Jesus.
He was so confused that he was convinced that Harry was essentially being malicious. And he said this, and Ghosty and others there agreed with him. Ghosty even said that her friends should get to know him because she and Katie had actually had pretty negative opinions of Dream before meeting him, but had their minds changed after meeting him at VidCon. This is obviously said about Dream and not me, but Dream looked at this as positive about the entire experience and shared this with me. It seems like Ghosty has changed her mind about this now, but I just think it's really relevant to how we felt about the situation as a whole and to show this to you guys. Honestly, over the last year or so, anytime a creator has kind of distanced themselves from me, I just assumed it was because of Dream. Dream had false grooming allegations against him, and I assumed that because of this and my association with Dream, people didn't like me. After Dream posted his video disproving these allegations, I honestly thought pretty poorly of creators that were still negative to me, as now I thought there was literally no reason for it. And now after seeing Katie's follow-up, I realized that probably everyone knew about this behind the scenes. And I think that is insane. I was walking around with these people at other events or interact with them in any way, and all the time they were just thinking terribly about me, and I didn't even know, and neither did any of my friends. If I'd seen Katie in person, I would have gone up to her normally. I would have assumed we were still friends. I think this is a massive injustice to Katie. It actually kind of makes me rethink a lot of my experiences with other creators, just looking back on it with this new information. And I don't even know who these people are. And even right now, after all of this information is public and out there, I still haven't had a single private conversation with anyone who knew about it prior to Katie's stream. This is all just to say that I didn't have any idea that there was a problem, and I wish that I had, and I should have. The last thing to mention is her age. Like I said, I wasn't aware at the time that she was 18. I mentioned that they had come from an official VidCon after party, they were drunk, and I made the assumption that, knowing how these events are run, that she was probably over the age of 21, as they wouldn't have been able to drink in there otherwise. Now, they actually said that they drank somewhere else briefly before showing up, and that makes more sense. It is irresponsible of me that I made this assumption, and going forward, I will make sure to explicitly ask for
To ask for personal identification? Are we IDing people?
makes more sense. It is irresponsible of me that I made this assumption, and going forward, I will make sure to explicitly ask for
Wendigoon told a story about how he met Destiny. Destiny, retell it from your end. Which story? I thought Wendigoon was pretty cool. Did you meet Wendigoon when shooting with Tom? What'd you think of? I thought, yeah, he seemed like a cool guy. I don't know if we interacted like a ton. I think we just had like a couple meals together, but...
person's age. And I'm sorry, Katie, that I did not do that for you. I also brought up how when I was going back through the texts, I found a picture of one of them wearing a 21 plus age wristband. And I showed this picture. Now, this is from a group chat that I wasn't in, but Dream showed me this when I was making my video, and I figured it was relevant to
He said you tickled him?
She wasn't 18. It is now mentioned that Katie wasn't actually the one that was wearing it, and it was just someone else's hand. So in these texts, they say, this is a quote, Lusas 21 plus wristband. We have a strat. Now, to explain what this strategy is for the people that haven't really been in a club environment or a place where you would get a wristband like this, essentially they give you this wristband to show that you are over 21 so that you can get drinks from the bar. These wristbands are made in a way so that once they're put on, they cannot be taken off without breaking it. And that's precisely why they're used, to prevent people from underage drinking. But clearly the security that gave the girls these bracelets didn't do a good enough job and didn't put it on fast enough. And this just shows that you can never be too careful and shouldn't make assumptions like I did. And I should have asked for her age. And I'm sorry that I did not. This is not a mistake that I will make again. From Katie's statement, it kind of seems like she didn't believe that I didn't know she was 18 and kind of thinks I'm just being dishonest about it. She said that she had it in her bio and that I DM'd her, so she was very confident that I knew.
Later that night, when I left, I received Instagram DMs from him, and in my Instagram bio, in bold, was my age, 18, confirming he knew how old I was.
For context, as you can see here in the screenshot, her age is actually in her display name on Instagram. And because of this, I was also pretty confused how I didn't know that she was 18, as it's literally in her name, not even in her bio, it's in her name. If it was in her bio, it would make sense to me because I could totally see myself going to her profile the first time I went to message her and just clicking message and never really going back to her profile, and essentially just any time I interact with her was just through the direct DMs where you actually can't see someone's bio. So I actually completely see where she's coming from, and it does seem kind of ridiculous that I didn't know. So because of all this, I actually started to look into this quite a lot because I know that I'm not stupid and must have seen it. But also in my head, I know that I didn't know her age, so it conflicts. So today I actually found out there are two different types of professional Instagram account. There's a creator account and a business account. And for some reason, Katie's account was a business account instead of a creator account. We actually joked about this at the time through our DMs because I was actually able to book her as like a business, and I didn't really know why I was able to do that. And weirdly enough, it actually turns out that business accounts don't display special characters from a username in the username that's displayed. And if you don't know what I mean by special characters, basically just a character that isn't something you can type on a normal keyboard. And because her age and the smiley is a
Oh my god, we've got some Death Note tier shit going on here. Oh no.
character, it literally just didn't display it in her username at all. And you can actually see this in a picture that I sent to her during our messages.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. The text saves. Oh Jesus.
And you can also see this in the screenshots that I used in my previous video, that her age also isn't visible, despite the fact that her age was in her name at this time. But now actually, as of today, her account isn't a business account anymore, so her age shows up again. And this is a screenshot I took today. Obviously, this wasn't a feature that I knew about at the time, and I actually had to do quite a bit of research today to work that out. So I hope that could kind of clear that up a little bit, and that maybe you can see how I wouldn't have seen it. I actually do think that the age difference between me and Casey was a pretty big factor. I am older than her, and based on what she said, I do have more experience than her. She never went into the exact specifics either, so out of respect for Casey.
I'm a virgin, so I don't have experience with this, but what's it like being tickled by an older guy? It can be quite traumatic. I'd be careful. It's an experience you can never wash from your body and your mind, and you'll never be the same person again, so.
Casey, I've chosen not to give any more details than she did, to make sure that I'm not airing out any information that she's not comfortable with being known. But I have clarified that the furthest things went was under the shirt touching. She did say that the level of intimacy that we had together was the furthest that she'd experienced, but to me, it was quite tame. And when I say this, I am not trying to devalue how she feels about this at all. I'm just trying to point out that we clearly view things differently. And this is something that I've learned from now, and I will be taking very seriously moving forward. And I'm truly sorry, Casey, for not realizing this and not taking this difference into account. It is clearly something that is extremely important to you, and I'm sorry. Even after everything I've just said, things would be very different if I could just say that I had asked her if she was comfortable and she had said yes. But the fact is, I never did ask this. As I mentioned, there were a lot of things that she said she thought that I wasn't aware of, that if I had known, would have changed a lot. And going forward, this will be something that I take into account in every interaction I have with anyone, sexual or not.
Do you meet up with someone that appears super young and never considered knowing her exact age? Sometimes I'll ask people for IDs if they look young, but I mean, they could just give you a fake ID. I don't know what you would do with that. You just get fucked.
Sorry, Katie, and I'm sorry for how this will affect you going forward, and I'm sorry that everything got to this point, but I just hope that after hearing my perspective, you can understand that I never had any bad intentions and never meant to hurt you. I think that is essentially all the information that I can add to the situation. After her first statement, I actually disagreed a lot with how things were portrayed and was pretty confused by a lot of the details, but her most recent response made things a lot clearer to me, and now I do think we agree pretty much on the order of events. We just don't necessarily agree on my intentions, but again, I do really hope that her seeing this can help with that. There are actually a couple of other things that I wanted to mention before I end this video that are not at all as important as anything else I've said before this, but this seems like the right time to address other concerns that people have had. The first thing that I want to talk about is a comment that I made about Punz's girlfriend at the time, Andy. I was in a call with Punz and Andy was in the shower, and it was known that we could hear Andy as we had brought it up previously within the call. She was talking very sexually with Punz, essentially complaining that Punz wasn't leaving the call to go have sex with her in the shower. I don't remember the exact quote that I said, but this is what Andy quotes me saying. If you don't go in the shower and have sex with Andy, I will. I do remember saying something along these lines, essentially saying, come on Punz, go have sex with your girlfriend who's begging you to go have sex with her in the shower, or someone else will. But I do understand how this could be disrespectful, and that was not my intention at all. Knowing how she felt after the fact, I do feel bad, and I'm...
Okay, I'm bored, I don't care.
Of Ukraine.
I changed Trump supporters' mind on Ukraine.
What do you think about the funding of Ukraine?
No, I don't think that should happen.
Why not?
Because we need to take care of America first.
I'd make the argument that funding Ukraine is exactly how we put America first, because a lot of people think we're sending cash backs, but we're sending old military equipment, right? And after we send that military equipment, we get to create new American jobs to restock and repile that.
That's a good point.
On top of that, do you think Vladimir Putin's our enemy?
Not really.
Really?
Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I need you guys to enter the right headspace, okay? You need to enter the right headspace, okay? We're going on this one, all right? I really need you to be in the right headspace, okay? Hold on. Hold on. Trust me on this one. A little bit. He's got like the right facial expressions, okay? He absolutely does. If you've seen this movie, if you've seen these movies, he absolutely has the right facial expressions. Come on, guys, he totally does.
That's a good point.
On top of that,
Hey, buddy.
Who's that? Tom?
Your mom?
Oh.
Yeah, dude. Did
What's
you
up?
watch George's response? I heard this. My lawyer told me.
Yeah. What about it?
What'd you think about it?
I mean, it seems like that Katie girl actually like just flat out lied about multiple things, and that whole story is fabricated.
How awesome is that, dude? How awesome. Lied by omission about the cuddling. How awesome is it that she lied by faking that screenshot and saying that someone else sent it? How
Wait, so
epic
what's
is
the
that,
story about the screenshot?
dude? You
like,
didn't see the screenshot?
Yeah,
Well,
no,
well,
but I'm
she
saying who the
claimed-
did it come from?
Who knows? Probably her.
No
knows?
shot. That would be wild.
I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised. Given she lied about the other thing, would it be that crazy?
Yes. That she
I
would
don't know.
fake
I
a text
wouldn't
message
be
that he could
shocked.
check to see if it was ever sent?
I wouldn't be shocked. He didn't even check initially is the thing. They're so stupid. They didn't even check. They just apologized initially, and then later they were like, oh, wait, we can actually call this person to see if that message was real. Like, who knows? With how stupid these people are, they can get away with anything. She played 5D chess.
I'm starting to think that other guy that we talked to, maybe it was real.
Dude, dude, that was such a mind fuck. I can't deal with that anymore. And then it got clipped, and everyone in the comments, you can see them slowly go from thinking he's real to being like, oh, wait. he
Wait, do you
mind
think,
raped.
did that guy, wait, is George like, you think? Or?
No, he's fine. This is the thing. Like, the interest in this drama is only on Twitter. Based on, okay, a YouTuber with
Didn't he get
3
like
million
removed from
subs.
like some Mr. Beast Instagram picture or some bullshit?
I mean, he did, but he still got his career, right? He still got his Minecraft career. He'll still be able to make money. He's still got, Dream Friend or whatever. He's still got connections. I mean, think about it this way. Like, okay, YouTuber with 3 million subs makes a response to allegations. How many views do you think that would get? Probably a lot, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Like, I would expect it to get like at least 1 million views, right? If somebody's being accused of rape. I mean, in the past, like, YouTubers who respond to allegations get like millions of views. Like when this guy Quite, who had like 1 million subs maybe, responded to allegations, the video got 5 million views and everyone on YouTube was talking about it, right? So you would think that it would be like a huge subject.
Well,
But
so maybe
only
people really
exists-
don't.
This only exists in the microcosm of Twitter. George's response hasn't even cracked 300K views in a day. He's got millions of subs. Nobody outside of Twitter actually fucking cares or believes this girl. It's all just Twitter like farming. Nobody on YouTube actually cares. Nobody with an audience apparently cares. And if he's so wrong, why haven't all these people responded? Why haven't all of her supporters done videos reacting, being like, "You're a piece of shit"? Like, what could be the possible reason for that?
For why people are responding that way?
For why people aren't responding?
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's just like a Twitter thing.
I think it literally is. I mean, nobody from her campus even said almost anything about the response. All the people who supported her in the allegations haven't said shit. It really makes you think, you know?
Well, that whole group should go down. That's pretty wild. Like anybody that was
yeah.
involved in that, that's pretty unbelievable.
Well, unfortunately, we don't know who was involved apart from the troll who made up the f***ing
One thing
Freshly
that
18 line.
there's a Dr. K video where he's like talking to some bullshit. I shouldn't say bullshit. I'm sorry. He's on something called like the $1 Million CEO or some CEO. I don't fucking know. Some YouTube channel. But an interesting thing he brings up is that the way that women tend to navigate their feelings when they're upset is through like sadness or crying or tears, and men are more predisposed to navigate through like anger or outbursts or whatever. It's very annoying that if somebody is like crying, they're basically impossible to attack. Like,
Yeah, right.
that girl's
'Cause
video.
People see girl crying and it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Like she should probably have her entire career destroyed, right? She probably shouldn't be allowed back in without like a huge
Yeah.
like redemptive. There
agree.
needs to be like because like imagine if this would have gone any other way for the George dude, if it would have picked up traction, if he would have gotten like super canceled. Like, do you think these guys are going to come out and apologize or undo it?
No, absolutely not. But the thing is, like, it's not like she had a huge career in the first place. Like, I mean, she had a little bit of one, but if you check her YouTube channel with like 100K subs, she was averaging like 10K views a video.
Yeah, I understand,
barely
but it's
even
not
uploaded.
about how big it is. Just like the principle of it. Like that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, ultimately, the people who do see that and are actually big creators are probably going to see it and be like, "F- this person, this is retarded." The people who delusionally fall into the trap of thinking she's right, they'll probably get falsely accused themselves at some point. And honestly, they deserve it. Good for them.
Yeah, I guess.
I hope their careers get burned to the ground.
It also like unironically plays into the as stupid as this meme is, but like the whole thing of like not taking them seriously. Like when you get like these many joking allegations that come out, and like the girl again in her speech, she's literally using the language of rape victims. Like, I couldn't wash myself
Right.
to clean this off my body. Like this is like I wouldn't be surprised if they straight
Who
up
told her
lifted
to
this.
write that, man?
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
told
It's
her
like
to write
unreal.
that?
Like it's an actual joke. But
Yeah. Well, what I'm curious about is who are the people behind the scenes and will we ever know? Because, I mean, not to take the responsibility off of her, because she is responsible, obviously. She published the allegation. She's a legal adult. She should be criticized. But there had to be people behind the scenes talking to her about this who, like,
for sure,
okayed the allegation.
100%.
or helped write parts of it, right? Like back with the John Swan thing that you covered a long time ago.
Yeah.
Remember when John was like, oh, I had no involvement, and then you go to the Google Doc edit history, and he edited half of it. Who edited half of this to make it sound more extreme?
Yeah, they shop these around for sure, and they get like feedback and stuff before they publish everything. 100%.
Yeah. And it makes, I mean, to an extent, that makes sense. I mean, I shop around videos sometimes to see, like, hey, does this sound right? Does this sound good?
I do the same with my
make
manifestos.
sense?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So who the fuck were these people? Will we ever find out? Maybe not. Maybe you can just assume from whoever is an irrelevant loser who's constantly tweeting about it, they probably did. Like the Ryan guy that you did like the Midwest emo thing. That guy probably had some involvement, if I had to guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it sucks. And especially sucks that, you know, not to pull the age card too much, but these people are all so young. Like, making an allegation like this is publicized forever now. Yeah, I mean, probably deserve to get their careers tanked, but Jesus Christ, dude. It sucks.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, buddy? What's going on in your world?
Nothing much. Just work.
Work. Well, working on what? Working on Norman Finkelstein? I saw a picture of you kissing him. I was kind of, put off by that.
No, I think I wanted to stream a lot this month because I was traveling so much last month, and then who knows? I did a little bit of college research today. Tomorrow we're gonna start on immigration, just really politics. Wait for the next big story to break, and then go from there.
Nice. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for chatting. Have a good one.
I love you. Bye.
See ya.
Wait.
Not.
Because I think
Repile that.
that's a good point.
On top of
That's a
that,
good point.
do you think Vladimir Putin's our enemy?
Not really.
Really? Why not?
Because
I don't know if you noticed, but like, notice how this guy, so one thing I said is you step into somebody's frame of reference and then you try to argue like with their values, and the goal is to demonstrate how a position they hold doesn't comport with their own values. So you want this guy to support Ukraine, well, you're not going to argue with him about, the geopolitical interest or the geostrategic interest the United States might have with Ukraine and the importance of defending Europe and blah, blah, blah. What do conservatives care about? American jobs. Oh, okay. Well, hey, if you support Ukraine and we send them old weapons, then new American jobs will be created with our wonderful military to get more funding to create more weapons and employ brave, hardworking American people that will, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh shit, I like that. I'm a conservative. Okay, based. Yeah.
America first, because a lot of people think we're
And he reuses that language too. Put America first.
is exactly how we put America first, because a lot of people think we're sending cash bags, but we're sending old military equipment, right? And after we send that military equipment, we get to create new American jobs to restock and repile that.
that's a good point.
On top of
That's a
that,
good point.
do you think Vladimir Putin's our enemy?
Not really.
Really? Why not?
Because I think he's trying to run his own country, and he's not.
Does this guy not seem like a plant though? I mean, I guess he could be. True, actually.
I don't think he is a threat to America.
It's okay that he's running his own country, but the problem is when he starts to invade other countries next to him. So we should protect our allies, essentially, right?
I agree.
So-
That's like us trying to invade Canada.
And that wouldn't be okay.
Right.
So to piece my argument together, we're creating new American jobs, and in the process, we get to protect an ally, a sovereign country, Ukraine, from, I think Vladimir Putin is a dictator. He's a threat. He's not a good guy. So I think we're protecting America's interests. I think this is exactly how we put America first, right? Can you see that point of view?
That is a very good point. That's a good point. You've educated me a lot. I appreciate that.
Awesome, and we're both coming from the same point of view of putting America first.
Right.
How can we put America first on the world stage? And sometimes it scares me when they say we put America first by letting Vladimir Putin do what he wants. That doesn't make sense.
Right. And how old are you?
21.
You're very wise for your age.
Oh, cute. What are your thoughts on the Crumblies being held responsible for their son shooting up a school in Michigan? I don't know. I heard about that, but I don't know enough about why. Father of school shooter convicted of manslaughter. It could be, isn't there precedence for this? Am I wrong? Like if, Like, if your child gets into a gun safe and kills themselves in your home, can't you be held responsible for that? I thought. I feel like this has already been a kind of thing. If child kills themselves with your own gun, can you be held responsible? Eagle Eagle did a video on the mother. 5 years ago. Oh, but this is with a different law, negligent storage law. Is this referring to the same shooting? Oh no, Michigan. This was Texas. All right. I love you guys. It's been fun. I'm back tomorrow. Red Cappuccino, 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 News. I will catch you guys next